So today I'm going to be talking about how to take a reference image and translate that into yarn. It's my favorite way to create colorways, and it's also just easy to prevent creative exhaustion or creative fatigue. You know, if you're dyeing all day, the first couple batches is fun. If you're doing it out of your head, and then after that, you start to just default into all grays or all rainbows. This makes it easy for me to match and batch all of my dye jobs so the first one looks as good as the last one. So first thing you're going to want to have is a dye atlas or a dye color card. This comes from Chem. They're $10. I don't know how they make them for $10 because mine take over an hour to create, but totally necessary. I also have one for all of the Jacquard colors and all of the Dharma colors. So after you have your color card, you take your reference image, and then you take the color card and decide which colors most accurately represent the photo. In this case, we have navy, bright aqua, turquoise, vivid violet, and purple pop, and a couple other colors. Those are a mix of Dharma and Chem. I prefer Chem. And then you decide skein by skein, right? Skein 1, bright aqua, extreme blue, midnight. Skein 2, bright aqua, hot purple, spearmint, etc. I'm going to be making a gradient out of this. Now, this is the most important part, is deciding which dye technique yields the best results so that the finished knit or weave or crochet accurately looks like that photo. So do you want it to self-stripe? Do you want it to variegate? Do you want it to pool? Do you want speckles on a light background? Do you want a reverse speckle where you have bright pops of color on a dark background? You know, do you want it to marble? Do you want solid shade, semi-solid tonal, which means like a watercolor all in one shade family, so all blues or all greens? And then you reverse engineer how you want the yarn. So in this case, we're going to do all kettle dyed. I'm going to do it in the round because I want there to be a lot of color in a small space, because I want it to work up just like that nebula does. So I have a great base. This is from Ashland Bay. It's called Newport, and it's a sparkle, silver sparkle superwash that not only takes dye really well, but the sparkle is plied in. I'm going to grab you an example of a different company's sparkle sock that I don't prefer for this technique. So this is wool to dye for, and it's a singles constructed superwash, and as opposed to the Newport, you can see that this is plied in. Sorry, this one's plied in and this one is loosely carded in. What that means is the sparkle fiber in this sticks out off of the skein. Eventually it will work its way out in pills in your finished knit, whereas this one's a solid ply striped in like a candy cane. So I love the way this looks in the skein. I love the way this works up. So just decide. There's probably 30 different bases between those two companies that have sparkle in them. So let's go downstairs and mix up some dye stock. So for 100 grams skein, you're going to want about a half a tablespoon of citric acid. Here's our background colors. We're going to grab a little bit of the purple pop. I want it to be like 1.5% background. Bright aqua, turquoise, violet, brilliant blue. Now we're going to fill it with hot tap. As you can see, Extreme Violet from Chem, their washfast line, is absolutely gorgeous and so saturated. To throw these in dry because the superwash will take the water on quickly, but I'll get a little bit of variation, which I want in this case. Now we're going to take some hot pink on one side and some brilliant blue over here on the other. And I don't necessarily want speckles. What I want to happen is once this is on the heat, I want it to pull the dye around. I'm going to put some turquoise over here And we're going to put some spearmint breeze over here. We're going to put some rhodamine red, which is actually a really beautiful, super rich fuchsia, across this violet. And let's throw some purple pop in here. Okay, and a little bit more purple pop over here. And let's get some turquoise over here. And I'm also going to grab a little bit of violet. Now this color, a little goes a long way. 1% looks like 4% from any other brand. All right, let's let the heat hit it. I'm going to let these cook for just under like a half an hour at just under boiling. And the color is going to continue to intensify and deepen. And then you want to let these cool to room temperature, which should take about 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on the ambient temperature at your house. Here's our finished results. Crisp, bright, saturated, very pretty. Hope that helps.